Hello and welcome to a Squadron 42 report where we look at what Cloud Imperium have been working on for the last few weeks and what they're focused on now in November 2021. We also insert the AI and NPC updates that also cover Star Citizen here because otherwise us taking a look at the Star Citizen Persistent Universe monthly report would be far too large. So let's start with those AI features. The AI content team progressed with specific Squadron 42 tasks, including the Cryopod and SimPod usables. The SimPod usable is a workstation where players or NPCs can train. The Cryopod is a cold storage container for preserving humanoids with vital signs displayed on external screens. They polished the motion capture data collected earlier in the year, with healing and actor status coming in 3.15. The team completed the hospital respawning experience, which includes the doctors and nurses that greet players when they wake up in a medical bed. They also took the time to fix many of the long-standing issues players have been experiencing with the actor status system when buying a drink at a bar and getting drunk. The AI feature team's main focus was Vandal combat behavior, which is heavily focused on melee. They've added combo attacks with slower or faster melee animations, so close range combat can be altered to modify the challenge to the player. Motion warp targeting now updates throughout melee attacks so that characters can correctly hit their targets. The team also improved the way staggers can be triggered. The team also worked on animations to allow NPCs to duck under obstacles, surrender, and untrained NPC, their cover usage as well was looked at. AI features spent part of the month working on the experience and responsiveness of some of the behaviors in the Persistent Universe. The team tweaked friendly fire to avoid unwanted damage. On the vendor side, responsiveness was improved and the team fixed bugs related to the scooching animations and bartenders serving patrons that already have drinks in front of them. AI Tech continued their work on planetary navigation generation, working on automation of requests to generate the area surrounding players. The team worked on how NPCs evaluate whether they can use a particular navigation link. For example, doors can tell AI characters if they're locked so they can be used correctly when pathfinding. They improved AI targeting and accuracy, the way AIs use missiles in combat, and prioritization of targets. The animation team worked on various AI behaviors for Squadron 42 and the Persistent Universe, such as the nurse, vendor, bartender, bar patron, security guard for the Persistent Universe, and navigation under broken doorways, the breaking of usables, and the searching over and around cover. They also worked on Vandal combat alongside the AI team. Improvements continued on zero-G gameplay and player ground-based animations. The team continued their improvement pass on the next set of characters. They also worked on facial animations for all existing body animations, while progress was made on emotes and lines for various characters throughout the Persistent Universe. Tech Animation completed their long-running task of upgrading the head creation and animation pipeline. They've rewritten major parts of the DNA system used to create in-game actors. All types of face rigs are now viable, including animals and aliens. This will improve the quality of all character heads in the Persistent Universe and Squadron 42. The character tech and art team spent the month polishing the Navy faction of Squadron 42. This included the bridge officers' jackets, battle dress uniform sweaters, and Navy medical staff outfits. They also polished the heads and hair of important characters like Bishop and Trejo. They began developing a suite of New Frontier style outfits for the population of Pyro. The Art and Environment team continued to work on numerous chapters, including chapters 5, 12, and 13, and pushed a higher visual standard on chapters 7 and 19. Progress was made on creating stellar-looking spacescapes to bring more vibrancy to cinematic space scenes. The cinematics team worked on a much-deserved planet tech and vista overhaul for the opening chapter of the game. Variants of existing ships like the Bengal were concepted, built, and delivered, and new ships were created for the Vandal fleet. All bridge scenes featuring Admiral Bishop and his Vandal counterpart progressed too. Most scenes received prop and finger contact passes. Now all officers are properly located in their seats with their hands touching reactive controls and moving as required. They also created reusable stunt sequences of ships battling or getting destroyed that might be viewed by the player from a corridor window or on a ship's bridge during battle. A key turret sequence was also fleshed out with cut arrays created to distinguish waves and different challenges. Gameplay features worked on a technical issue of how the engine has changed to support object container streaming. The team continued to liaise with related teams to prototype the user experience with the base character customizer. The team notes it can be challenging to create an intuitive user interface without hampering the power and freedom of the system. Gameplay Story did some polish work across Chapter 1, with several story scenes being updated with new audio, while the Graves walk and talk in Chapter 5 progressed well. A briefing scene in Chapter 8 received new mocap, while a complicated scene from Chapter 12 was completely overhauled. Tactile interaction progressed too, which, though difficult to implement, makes the characters feel more alive and present in the world. Level design. The space and dogfight team incorporated more optional points of interest in the early parts of the game, with some of the players' actions in these areas potentially having ramifications on future chapters. The FPS team began fleshing out ground-based areas of the game with AI and new mechanics. The social design team continued the significant job of implementing all in-game scenes for the various chapters for review and sign-off. The narrative team added improvements to the placeholder dialogue pipeline into action, allowing the team to quickly place new written dialogue into the game for playtesting. As the game is being refined, a single line of dialogue may only need to be adjusted rather than a whole scene. Revised tracking documentation was worked on to better help the team monitor the status of additional dialogue requests as they come in. The team also improved a few tutorial scenes to better instruct the player on key gameplay elements. I really want to see proper tutorials in this game. Cinematics continue to rely on Q&A for regular chapter testing. Last month was geared towards cinematic tool testing and ironing out many of the tools defects with rendering scenes. They also continue to support the AI team's behavior implementations, last month focusing on Vandal AI improvements and upgrading existing AI function. The UI team created decals for a specific level and new building box styles for use on interactive screens in some of the key environments throughout the game. VFX had their strike team working closely with cinematics, helping them populate an epic battle scene with some visual effects. Boom! That's it for your Squadron 42 monthly report this time. Obviously, we did check out a load of the AI updates there as well, but what do you think? Are they making good progress? What would you like to see them work on? When do you think Squadron 42 is going to be out? When do you think we're going to see some of this tangible sort of stuff that they're working on either shown to us in more detail or phased into the persistent universe? Obviously, having better AI and NPCs is going to be great for Star Citizen and essential, and I want to see all these updates. Whatever your thoughts though, I'd love to hear from you in the comments below. It's November, and that means, yes, you're right, it's NordVPN season. All those delicious Nords are collected together to make the finest VPN that I shill for on my channel. Not only is NordVPN delicious, but it also protects. Check out the links below to get fantastic discounts, or go to nordvpn.com/BoredGamer. Do you dream of being at the controls of your spaceship in real life? Well, now you sort of can with Game Glass. It turns touchscreen devices into diegetic controllers for Star Citizen, and you can get the basic software free. Check it out in the links below. Every month we have a ship giveaway as well. This time it's for a Mercury Starrunner, a multi-crew ship that will let you do a bit of everything in-game now. Or at least most things. Lots of things in-game now. In the future it might allow you to do smuggling and data running too. All you need to do to be in for a chance of winning that is comment on any of my videos during November. More details down below. If you'd like to further support the channel, please consider clicking the join or thanks button under my videos, or even becoming a Patreon. You get some cool stuff to show that you're a true supporter of mine and Zin's art, some exclusive polls, ways of shaping the channel, some exclusive videos, all that sort of jazz too. Thanks for watching, and I hope to see you in the verse.